Hey, this is BlindFox. Welcome at my Ration review. Please support the channel. Please subscribe and please donate on patreon.com. Today we are going to do a Latvian ration menu number 7. This expires in 2022, 22nd of April. So I'm going to do this before then. Or the review, or the filming anyway. And I'll just put it on when it's on. It might be a bit later, but doesn't matter. So this thing has got it's around 2,500 kcals, I think. There is a tin in here as well. This is one of the flimsiest little ration wrap or packagings I've ever seen. It's really so flimsy you can almost just, I don't know if you could, you see how flimsy this is? I can just sort of do this. But I will actually cut it open. So let's see what is in here. Let's just, sort of a rubbery smell or a rubbery biscuity smell. Ah, and I think something burst. Which is a shame. But we'll see, and I'll clean stuff up. It might be the jam. The thing that broke is I think it's blackcurrant jam, which is a shame. But we still have, I think, apricot. I'll just have to clean everything because it's a bit sticky. But then it seems like there's always something that goes open. I think this is a really, not really, the same as some of the South African rations used to have these kinds of jam. And they sometimes not just, it's just not sealed properly, you know. Or the similar type thing. We've got the chocolate that have seen some better days. We've got our rye bread. We've got some rice porridge with apples, raisins, our pea puree and bacon, and oh yes, the packaging has got English titles as well. Then we've got a stove, which you can see here. Quite a Finnish one, very much like the South African one in. And we've got a box of matches and we've got some fuel tablets. Oh, and a rubber band as well. Quite a flimsy box of matches, but. And we've got our little tea bag. I'm not sure exactly. This might be sugar because there is sugar. But we'll just look at this just now. 2 coffees, a spoon, black tea, more coffees. How many coffees is there? 4 coffees? 4 coffees, that's a lot of coffee. And a wipe. And we've got some gums. Or 1 gum, I'm not sure. Interesting. So let's see our moist towelette, which I'm going to use to wipe some of this stuff down. Flimsy. Smells nice. Not a very large one. I've had larger towels. One of those stretchy ones that stretch in one direction. A bit moist. So I'll just, moist enough to wipe your hands. So I'll just wipe up some of the stuff that's really sticky, and I'll go and heat this up and mix the coffee and the tea, and we'll be back. So this is the jam that I'm not sure if it's still alright or not, but it could be because jam can last a long time. I don't know when this thing got its hole, but you can see there's definitely some missing. We'll try a little bit of it, just a little. Doesn't look bad, but I might not be able to see it. But then we go, just a little. I just tasted a bit from the other side of the hole. Some pith in there, nice and soury and tart. It would have gone great on one of the breads. But I'm not going to try it though, because there was that hole. Anyway, I've wiped everything down and I'll just go and heat up the stuff that needs to be heated up. Well, before I go, let's just quickly look at this. I'm gonna, I think, heat this up in a way. And we will, of course, taste this because this is not food I actually get a lot of. So I'm gonna taste this cold. You can see there, very, very stiff. So let's taste. Fatty, definitely smoky. And you do taste the peas here. But I'm gonna heat this up since they do provide a stove, and I think maybe this should be eaten hot. Although, this is one of the things, there's enough fat and stuff in here that you can eat this cold. And there's enough of a taste that I think cold wouldn't be too bad, but I wouldn't want to eat this cold, so I'll go and heat everything up. It really doesn't taste that bad cold. But we'll go and fix everything, and I will then... So let's start. We'll start with the hot stuff. Now, I can see how this stuff will actually heat up a bit difficult on a stove because it's so very dense. I think this might burn quite easily. But let's taste. It doesn't look really appetizing, but let's taste. It smells very smoky. It tastes like peas. Not your soft peas, sort of, this is pureed, those hard, dried peas. Smoky, very much smoky. Doesn't look really appetizing, but I think it tastes better than it looks. You might even add some water here and make a bit of a soup, because this is just a very, very thick puree. And if you add water, maybe the taste will still be strong enough. Really, really smoky. You do get that pea taste. And this tastes better hot than cold. But extraordinarily nice and smoky. So you can always add a bit of water here if it's a bit too starchy for you to eat or too sticky. Then it turns sort of in a little soup with nice pieces of bacon. And the bacon is really nice. So our peas porridge is still being heating there. So I've had a look at, some of my family members had a look at the jam, and they say there's no mold in there. The bread is, you can see how shiny it is. It literally was so what do you call it? So vacuum sealed. And you can't really, I've tried to actually get these bread to actually the two slices to actually come to separate, but it's too compact. It just does not want to separate, and I've really tried, and with the stuff they give you, you can't really separate it. Maybe if you cut it with something, but let's taste. Very reminiscent of the German rye bread that's in those tins. Tastes a lot the same, but thicker slices, which means it's more bread-like. Sort of a nutty sweet taste, maybe a bit sweeter than the others. Now we will do, it's almost have, sort of to me, it's almost have a dried fruit kind of taste. It's quite nice. So this is the apricot jam. You can see there it's not really a full one, and this thing was sealed. Unlike the other jam. I don't know. I think this is apricot. Yes, this apricot. It's not like the apricot I'm used to. It's not sour. I don't know. Maybe almost peach-like. But definitely apricot, but it's not a sour apricot as I'm used to. Really a thick jam. Almost more a puree. Let's see if I could at least get some. You can see here really difficult. And there you can see the actual breadness of this. But it's really sealed so well that you can't really get into the bread slices itself. But this is my best attempt. So let's put a bit of jam on there. This apricot is just not, it doesn't have a strong enough taste to actually get above the bread. So let's try some of the, where's this thing? The pea stuff on the bread. dip a bit of this. Peas porridge does overwhelm the sweet taste of the bread, and you can eat it that way. Now let's see, I think this is the blackcurrant or whatever this is. Let's just see. So the blackcurrant, I'll put some on the bread and we will taste. The blackcurrant definitely goes the best with the bread. It's got enough souriness to sort of peek over the fruity taste of this rye bread stuff. But the apricot, as I said, there's just not enough. It just lacks something. It just can't clear that barrier. Now our raisins. Nice normal raisins. We'll get to the chocolate, but we'll do the rice porridge. And you can see there, I did add the amount of water. You might even want to add some more water, but maybe a bit appley or sweetish, but this is just rice. Not really a strong apple taste. We'll do our whatever this is. The tea. A black tea. Not as strong as some black teas. It doesn't overwhelm the rice porridge any. I don't think it will overwhelm this, but this is really quite nice. The next thing will be the coffee, and we'll do the chocolate. Now the next thing we'll do is first is the chocolate. So very much melted, this chocolate. You can see they literally melted, so it got quite hot somewhere. Nice finish. I'm not sure what the cocoa content here is, but you can taste it. Dark chocolate, quite nice. It doesn't really, the melt doesn't really bother me. It's still got a nice fine structure. I've had chocolate with more cocoa, but it's not as sweet as some of the chocolates I've had. There's not as much sugar added, I think. It's very much a bit lighter in cocoa maybe than some of the South African stuff. Also a bit lighter in sugar taste maybe. Of course, it's just a different chocolate taste, but it's quite nice. So our coffee. Nice normal strong Nescafe. And we'll taste some of the bread. Just the bread on its own as well work well with the coffee and stuff. So this is our review of the Latvian Ration. It expires in 2022, the 22nd of April, and I've reviewed this before the expiry date. I must just tell you, although this will air a bit after the expiry date, but this is menu number 7. And as I said, the bag is very flimsy. These jams, apparently one of them always pops open. It is sort of apparently normal, but I did have people look at it in my house and it doesn't taste funny. My tongue didn't go dead or anything. Alright, what else? So our the jam, the black currant jam, you literally have pieces of fruit there. This is not a real fine jam. It's nice, it's tart. It goes actually excellent with the bread because this bread has got sort of a sweetish, nutty, almost to me raisiny taste. The raisins is just normal raisins. The apricot jam doesn't have that normal souriness that we are used to. Apricots, I don't know what they did with it, but it's not that soury taste. And you can see they're just half the thing was full of jam. But really it doesn't have that taste. Much more almost a fruit puree than it is, or fruit sort of a, it's not really a jam as I'm used to it. It's much more, it's I don't know, I can't describe it. It's very sort of fine, almost a very finely ground fruit, but it's not that souriness of the apricots that I'm used to. I don't know what is it, but it's not there. What else? The raisins, the chocolate was nice. The peas stuff was interesting, very smoky flavor of the bacon. I think if you add some more hot water here, you can almost have a soup. The coffee is nice coffee. The porridge, not really apple tasty, not really sweet, or the rice porridge, just sort of a rice taste to me. Slightly sweet, but not, I wouldn't have said this is apple. And then the tea is a nice black tea. It's not as astringent as some teas, doesn't have that bitter, and it has been steeping for a bit, that bitter aftertaste. It's just a normal mild black tea. So this was our ration review, the Latvian menu number 7. It expires in 2022. So thanks for watching this review. Please support the channel. Please subscribe. Please go and donate on patreon.com. Oh wait, we've not done our little gum. So this is the gum. I think I will be reviewing this but what is this? What the hell? I'm not exactly sure what this is, but there is a little thing there, sort of, I don't know if it's sort of a whatever. There's a turbo. I'm not sure if this is something, but there. I'll taste this a little bit now. Tastes sort of a banana-y chewing gum. A sweet banana-ish chewing gum. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. So quite interesting ration, and not often that you see this type of gum. Normally it's sort of a little hard stimulant type gum. But interesting ration. So thanks for watching. Please support the channel. Please subscribe. Please go and donate on patreon.com and see you at my next ration review.